Ever wish you had someone to tell you the truth about what it takes to run a successful business and live a fulfilling life? Well, amiguita, you've come to the right place. So grab your favorite cafecito or cocktail, your courage, and let's get to work. I'm Jenna Sabores, a therapist, business strategist, mindset coach for entrepreneurs, and a feisty Latina from Miami. And I'm determined to teach you the exact tools you need to stop settling and start kicking some serious derriere. What do you say? Are you in? Then let's get started. Welcome to Latinas Empowering Latinas podcast. Today, I want to welcome Christine Braneli. She is an honorary Latina. I told you guys that this podcast is for everybody. Everybody is welcome to hear it. Everybody's welcome to be on it. Everybody's welcome to learn from it. But I really wanted to provide a platform to help all Latinas grow. And I am bringing Christine here to show up for us. She is a chiropractor and former beauty salon owner turned image consultant. And she is here to answer a lot of the questions that most of us have in business right when we're starting off and then kind of when we're growing too. Christine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I love being here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know we don't share video on my podcast, but I want to paint this picture. Very beautiful complexion, long blonde hair, lots and lots of lashes for days, and a glow. And this is what Christine kind of teaches entrepreneurs how to show up on camera. And I know a lot of people are resistant. Christine, there's two tracks I have in mind, right? I have any kind of entrepreneur or person that wants to show up kind of visibly, but is hesitant or scared to because they either think they don't need to, they're not ready, they don't have the money to invest. Where does that fit in? And the reason I'm thinking too is because my head is always split, right? I'm an entrepreneur and I kind of say an out of the box one because I'm not a traditional clinician. And I know you can kind of share in my story here a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to kind of go back to, I know what therapists are thinking, clinicians are thinking, but I also know kind of like general entrepreneur thoughts. I'm going to ask you both. And there's so much wealth of information that you have to share that I'm just going to start asking you questions and you just share with us.
Fire away. I'm ready.
Okay. I'm a big fan, and I know you might disagree with this piece of it. I'm a big fan when I'm teaching clinicians how to start their practice. I am huge on having professional photos. I know you kind of probably push against this or push that. So I'm going to put social media aside for now.
Okay.
And I'm talking more like Psychology Today profile or a profile picture. I actually just saw a post the other day when people were asking like business cards, picture or no picture? And most people are like, no picture. I'm like, yes, you are your brand. So there's this mixed thing. So my whole thing, at least for presentation, right? A lot of this is presentation. Was it you that I heard say that we have 7 seconds to make an impression?
Yes, actually it's going down. We're down to 3.
Tell us about that. How many seconds? Because we all like the whole wholesome, you don't judge a book by its cover, but what's the reality, Christine?
Reality is that's crap. Can I
Okay,
say
so
that?
what is the reality?
The reality is if you look at a dentist, let's go into dentistry, right? A lot of people have fear around dentistry. If that person has a photo where they're not smiling and they kind of have a stern face, what's your first impression? Your first impression is nope.
Ew, I'm not going there.
Yes, right? If you have someone that has a profile, by the way, I do think you need professional photos for your profile. You need your picture there because if they have any fear or any concerns, they're going to pass you by. They're going to look at photos. Think about that. You're at someone's mercy, right? You're in their services they provide. So this dentist, if you find a dentist and you have fear around dentistry, for example, and you have someone smiling and they look friendly and they look professional, then you're going to go read their bio. So I'm really big about that. When we're talking about social media, completely different. That's a different ballgame. Your profile matters. Your picture should be professional. It should communicate what you want the viewer to experience when they look at it. And so that first impression, I like to give an example. I can't do this here because we don't have any visuals, but I have a photo of my daughter when she was about 11 years old. I took them to audition for Disney and TV.
Oh!
And I did that on purpose. It had nothing to do with me wanting to create little movie stars. It had everything to do with, I wanted them to learn how to promote themselves and to accept rejection. Because there's a lot of rejection. They either get called in or they don't, and they get interviewed. They have to speak about themselves. Well, to do that, we had to have headshots done. And she had this one headshot that I show all of my clients. Tell me what you feel when you look at this picture. And here's this little 11-year-old with a little blonde bob, her chin over her shoulders, and her eyes looking out over like a tipped eyes peeking up over her eyebrows, like a almost sultry, but more attitude, right?
Mhm.
It's just attitude, and you get it in 3 seconds. When you look at this picture, you're like, whoa, look at her attitude. She never said a word. She has her collar popped, right? So the collar in the photo automatically gives you an impression. So we read a lot in 3 seconds, whether we want to believe it or not. We do. We size people up every day in 3 to 5 seconds or less. When you're walking through a shopping mall, you're deciding how educated they are, how wealthy and successful they are. You're deciding their sexuality, sexual preferences. You're making all kinds of decisions based on 5 seconds or less. So yeah, your picture matters.
I know that everybody likes to say like, I don't judge, and it's very nice, but we keep it really real on this podcast, and Christine is keeping it real. So I'm going to say this out loud again. You have 3 seconds to make an impression on your potential customers. You have 3 seconds to stand apart from everybody else. You said something. You said to make them communicate what you want them to feel. Is that what you said? Can you say that again in your words?
I'm using a static photo, right? Because you were saying like your Psychology Today profile, or maybe your headshot on a business card. What do you want the person who picks up that business card or finds you in an online directory? What do you want them to feel and experience when they look at your picture?
I love this. Okay, so I'm going to use myself. I'm going to say I want them to see a person that's confident, that can lead them to confident, that's going to hold them accountable, but that is strong yet comforting and nurturing.
Great. So you're going to want to smile. Definitely not going to want to tip your head. Tipping your head like cutesy, and that does not display confidence.
Okay.
And the outfit that you're wearing, the colors that you're wearing, the background in the photo, all will communicate those things. And those all play a role in how we perceive you as confident yet approachable.
I'm going to keep switching in my mind, right? Back and forth to therapist. I've lost count of the amount of individuals right when Psychology Today wasn't really like doing photos completely. Like a lot of people didn't have photos on them, or like not professional photos. And I don't know how many people said, I called you because you were the warmest looking person. You had the warmest picture. Like you looked the most welcoming. Thank you. That was my goal. People say the same thing when they walk in my office. Oh, this is so comfortable. It's that sensation. Like, how do you want to feel? How do you want to be received? And that's what I hear you saying about that photo.
100%. You need to create the experience you want the viewer to have in your picture. And if you have a good photographer and you have a good, if you need help, if you have somebody that can help you get there, that's the secret sauce. If you don't know, the photographer should be able to help you with that.
Next big question. The next resistance I usually get. Either I don't have the money now. I'll give you two. You can pick which one you want to start with. Or I need to lose weight first. Either I don't have pictures or they're dated, but I need to lose weight first.
You're right in this is what
I know. Okay, wait, I'm going to add a clause to you because I know you work on something here. My clause is, but they need to get them done in like the next 2 weeks. So there's no time to like make any huge life changes, like, because I know you're into the health changes, but I'm like, we're working with a small window. What do you say?
Okay. Let's start with the weight first, because that is the number one. It's usually not the money, right? Like we can cough up the money for something we really want. If we really want it, we'll figure it out.
I love the way you just like address that. Boom. Yeah. If you want the money, you're going to figure it out.
You're going to figure it out. But the weight is, over 88% of American, or not just American, North American women struggle with body image. Being on camera is the thing. What we do in 2 weeks window, this is what you want to do. First of all, you want to find clothing that is going to complement your figure. And don't just wear black because it's slimming, right? You have to know what colors are going to pull out your glow. So
you just went to my next question. Okay, go ahead. I was like, how do you pick your colors?
Yeah, we can get to that. And most of the time in headshots, if we're talking headshots, it's not full body, but we still struggle because maybe we have a double chin, or we don't like, it's not our face, or we feel I'm in this phase now. I'm in my 50s and my face is falling, right? I'm like,
she does not look anywhere near 50, by the way.
Thank you. But I get that. Like you just go in the mirror, like, what happened? This is not my jawline. There are different things you can do. One, after you decide what you're going to wear, the next thing you're going to do is cut out all alcohol 2 weeks before you take this picture. You're going to do your own selfie and you're going to drop booze. Why? It causes bloating. It causes uneven skin tone. It causes weight gain. Get rid of it just for 2 weeks. Not even one glass of wine. Eliminate it. The second thing you're going to do is pass on the chips and salsa, pass on the chips, pass on the pretzels. All salty foods cause bloating. So if you want to have a quick win, those are easy things that don't cost you anything. They're going to give you a big ROI. because you're going to look so much better in 2 weeks. Your clothes are actually going to fit better. Then you're going to set up a camera to be able to take a selfie that is flattering, because now your skin is more glowy. You know what you're going to wear. And you want to, if you're going to use your phone, you want to make sure that you're looking in the camera lens and have that camera lens slightly above eye level and slightly tipped down. That is where most people make a mistake. Not so high that it looks like somebody stood on a chair and took your picture, because people know that trick and they're like, what the heck are they doing? You don't need it that high, but just slightly above eye level, and then tip it downward, because that's where it's flattering, where you look a little smaller than you are. Actually, I know people on dating sites that do this so that they look so much thinner than they are. And then these people meet them in person, and like, that is not what their picture looked like. That's how well it works. So tip that camera down a little bit.
So what I hear you saying, and I'm going to go back to, like, let's say we book a professional photographer, right? We find the money, we get the umph. We're like, we're doing this. We heard Christine talk. What do you tell them about, it's just a hard question, right? Like, not how to feel about your weight, but how to change the mindset around your pictures and weight. Why it's better to take them now instead of waiting, not to have those professional upgraded pictures, like branding photos, let's say.
Sure.
Why not wait?
Why not wait? Because we need these pictures now.
Why now?
We need to show up for our audience, because the longer we postpone that, people are going to keep passing you by and looking for someone else that's going to show up. Someone who's unapologetic. Here's the thing with this. And I did a whole year of work with body image because my daughter has had anorexia. So then I went into, this is off subject, but I went into my own counseling, realized I had body dysmorphia. I'm the girl that hid in the back row. When I was a size 2, size 4, I still hid in the back row of a group photo and popped my head out. So it doesn't matter what size you are. That body image thing is holding you up. And you can be body positive and say, I love the body I'm in, but I want to improve it. It's okay to give yourself space. And even if you want to even make that an issue, maybe if you're in the healthcare space, you can say, I'm going on a health journey, but this is me now. And this body has brought me to you. This body, I'm proud of her. She's taken me through a lot in life. There's so much mindset to go into that. So you need to just accept where you are and say, this is me now. And I can't wait to see these photos in 6 months, in 1 year.
Yes. I love that. And so I'm going to share a little bit without getting too detailed, but I did something like this last year. I did some boudoir photography, but I did it for myself. It was my husband reaped the benefits, right, of the images, but it was really for me. I remember I was at my heaviest ever. And I remember kind of feeling like, you know what? I can wait, or I can show up for myself now. And you know what? If I do get to the weight that I want to be to take these pictures to begin with, then I'll come back and do it again.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm going to do this now. And you know what? In a year, I'm going to be a year older. Right now, I'm what I am now. And I dared myself. I said, jump in front of the camera now. And then when you get to where you want to be, jump in front of it again. So who says that these pictures have to be the pictures you have forever?
And I have something else to add to that. How many times have we seen pictures of ourselves 5 years ago when we thought we were so big? I wish I was as big as I was 5 years ago.
Oh my God, Christine. Christine. Okay. So there's an image. So, oh my gosh, in my 20s, the first time ever I went to Puerto Rico, and I went to the rainforest, and I remember I was very brave and young then, probably braver than now, which is a little scary. And I walked right into like this lagoon looking thing. Everybody's taking pictures. I felt confident, but it was in a different space. It was more like mentally confident over body, but I looked probably the best I had ever looked in my life. And I remember laying down on this rock, putting my arm up and taking this picture, and like everybody got quiet. But I was just like, I was feeling the moment. I was very proud. It didn't look like inappropriate, but it was like, I showed up for myself.
Yeah.
And every time I see that photo, I don't even need to see the photo. When I think of that moment and that picture in my mind, it feels so good. Not because of the attention that I got, but how I felt at that moment.
Yes.
It's the energy that you bring to those moments. And I love that you brought that up, because you're right. It's the feeling that you're emoting at the time you're taking those images too.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, Christine, so good. Okay. Talk to me about colors. How do people know? So favorite, I think everybody kind of leans into like their favorite color.
Yeah. So color
is what color looks good on that.
Right. And that's what you want. There are a lot of people that use their brand photos for their pictures, right? Let's say yellow is the color on their website, the color they use on their social media branding, but they're blonde and blue like me. yellow is not a good color for me. I should not be
Mhm.
showing up in yellow.
Mhm.
You can separate yourself from your branding. You don't have to be the same color, but there are some people in the entrepreneur space, for example, red is their color. I know one coach out there who is blonde and blue, just like me,
Mhm.
and he wears red and everything. Her website uses red. So you need to really understand first what looks good on you. And I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, but also understand a little bit of color theory. Because again, when we're talking about photos, color gives us certain feelings, right? So
That's
red is a
right. I
power.
forgot about that. People
Yeah.
use that when they're choosing colors for their house, right? What
Yes.
feeling do you want to bring up?
Interior, your therapy office, your whatever your living room is, like color matters. And it's the same thing when you're getting your pictures taken. For example, red is a confidence color, right? It's a power color. And it's also in the healthcare field, a pain color. So it depends on what
Your
industry you're
field.
in.
You're right. Oh
Yep.
my gosh,
So
Christine.
color, yeah, color
I've never
matters.
thought of these things.
Yes, and blue is a trust color, right? So blue is, you just have to think about all of the color theory. And then let's talk about what looks good on you. There are a couple things you can do. You naturally probably gravitate to what looks good on you. In fact, I saw you in a color and I think I sent you a message like, girl, you look amazing in this color.
Yes. It's
Instinctively.
funny. And I love, so I'm going to, you know what, Christine, I'm going to use this time to like just tap into you. So I'm actually rebranding my photos.
Mhm.
I found a photographer I like. I kind of am in that space where I had a patient the other day say, this isn't you. And I'm like, oh yes. He's like, when was this taken? I was like, all right, time for new photos. I'm retaking them. My branding color is usually like a blush. Like that's the color I favor. My favorite color is like purple fuchsia, but that doesn't mean that looks good on me. The colors I get complimented in constantly are yellow, which is the color you saw me in, red. I guess it's my complexion. What other colors should I tap into
Yes.
for like everything that I've already shown, just like empowering Latinas, empowering women, like all this stuff? Talk to me.
Yes. Okay. Go back to grade school when you learned about primary colors.
Mhm.
We have to think about the color wheel. If you don't know what that is, go online and do a search for a color wheel because that'll help you understand what I'm about to say. But you have a warm skin tone. So we have warm, cool, and neutral. Very few
Okay.
people are neutral. Very few people are neutral. You're warm or cool. You're warm. And I don't want to say that all Latinas are warm.
No,
But
there's different shades of us. My
different.
mom is super light. My dad is dark. I have a cousin who's super, super dark. I'm like
Right.
kind of in the middle. My
But
kids are very different.
it's not the shade
It's
of
the
your skin,
undertone,
it's
right?
the undertone. So
Yep.
what you want to do, there's a couple things you can do. One, look at the underside of your wrist. If your veins are more on the greenish side, you're warm. If they're on the bluish side,
Ooh,
you're
I like that. Definitely
yeah.
warm.
Yep. So and I'm all blue, right?
It's
So
so funny. So we wouldn't wear the same colors.
no, not at all. Not at all. I can't wear yellow. I love yellow. It makes me happy. But what I can do is accessorize with yellow or, something away from my face that's yellow. So I would say handbag, right? Or shoes or something fun like that. For you, just because you're warm, that doesn't mean that every warm color is going to look good on you.
Of
And
course.
your favorite, the pinkish purple, they don't go with warm at all.
I know. I figured.
You know?
They don't. I love it, but when I put it
Yeah.
on me, it just
Accessorize. You're again going to accessorize with those things. Or, you could wear it on the bottom of your body somewhere,
That's so
just
funny.
keep it away from your face because it's not going to pull out the best in your skin tone. The way to know which shade of yellow, which shade of mango, which shade of, you're in warm, for example, if you look at a color wheel, no blues at all, no pinks,
Okay.
no purples. There are warmer shades of blue. Royal
Okay.
blue is a cool color, right? Cornflower blue is more warm. So you can play with blue, but you're probably
Okay.
not going to like it as much as yellow. You're going to look
Of course.
amazing. So the way you play at home without somebody like me coming in is you put colors up. Maybe you don't have all these colors of clothing. Maybe it's in a pillowcase. Maybe it's in a pillow on your couch, but take that pillow, take that pillowcase, take that sweater, go in front of the mirror, put it right under your chin. And if you are looking at your face first, and you're like right there looking at your eyes, you're probably in a color that's good for you. If you go back and forth and you're like, and you kind of shimmy left and right and you go, I'm not sure, don't wear it. It's taking your eye away from yourself. So a good color for you is going to bring you to go right to your eyes and go, yes, you'll know right away.
And I'm thinking like culturally, I want to say, or like geographically. So I'm a Miami girl originally. Yep. I remember when I was younger, like we were white jeans. We don't care what time of the year is. We were white all the time. I don't know if it's like a cleansing thing. And then I went to New York. Now I live in black. It's just feels more classic. My husband, when I wear color, he's like, oh, is that new? Because it's all black.
Yeah.
So then what do you do with somebody like me who's between like the roots are in white and it's all black, but I have a feeling they probably don't go in my color wheel or whatever it is that I want to project. So what do you do with the white black thing that most people like to do?
Yes. So black and white are really tricky. White actually looks great on cool skin tones. Cream, if we were talking about the top, you would
Okay.
do better with cream and off-white, ecru,
Yep.
things like that. Pure white, not good for you. You're just not going to glow the same.
Oh my gosh. When I was picking my wedding dress, this
Yep.
is such a good conversation. I remember I'm like, I want white, I want white, I want white. And I put it on and I looked horrible. And then somebody said, try this dress. I'm like, but it's not white. They're like, just try it. It was gorgeous. It's like, my dress is off white, like a creamy. Oh my gosh, this is so
Yes.
good.
For black and white. I love black and white. I could look at me. I'm in it right now. I'm a black and white girl. Cool can wear black and white really well. Warms, you have to play with it. So the whole thing about
Is that me? Just play with everything. Play with the blue, play with the black, play with the white.
Right. And by the way, I want to say these are to help you look your best. There's no hard and fast rule. If you want to wear white in the winter, wear white in the winter. But if you're getting headshots and professional branding photos, follow the guidelines. You want to put your best foot forward. When you're off camera and you're just living your life, don't worry about it. Do what you want to do. We're talking about showing up as an entrepreneur, showing up as a professional. That's when you want to apply these guidelines. So this is like, I want to get that off because I know a lot of people come out and go, wear what you want. Yes, wear what you want. We're talking about when you want to look your best, right? I was just going to say, we also, if you're doing branding photos where it's full body, we have a tendency to want to wear on the bottom something that's going to make us look more slim. As you know, white jeans, you say you wear white all the time. White makes us look bigger. Black makes us look smaller. That doesn't come into play unless you know your body shape. If you know that you're more triangular in shape and you have wider hips and smaller shoulders, then you want to minimize, you want to bring balance to your body. So if you're getting headshots done with a professional photographer, you're not doing this yourself, you want to bring harmony, not contrast. So we want to bring balance to the eyes so that the top and bottom are balanced. And if you wear white on the bottom and you have larger hips than you do shoulders and a color up top, you're off balance. So if you want to bring harmony, you want to dress for your body type. Wider hips should wear a darker color on the bottom.
Look at you. We're going to like color wheels and body figure and body shapes. Okay, so I'm going to jump into my next question. So there's this rule I've always heard of, like, not neutral colors, but be neutral in what you're going to wear. So your like pictures last, like they go through different generations or decades or whatever, like different styles, like pick a style that's classic almost. Let's say you're an entrepreneur who's doing a branding, lifestyle branding, right? I'll use my example again. But you're getting pictures that you know are going to be for now, and you know you're going to take more pictures later. Like, how do you decide when to like get sassy and funky and like things that you normally wouldn't wear but are fun versus like very classic?
Okay, great question. I would do the headshot that you're going to use on a business card or an online directory, let's say Psychology Today or LinkedIn. I would keep that classic.
Okay.
The rest of them, have fun.
I love that. I love how you get to like have both. I wouldn't even think of that.
Yeah. So if you're going to show your personality with all your color, and let's say, there's sometimes like, let's just say it's an autumn photo shoot and you're playing around kicking the leaves, right? You're in a park somewhere, wear your colors and have fun and let your personality come through. And then keep the classic, or that headshot can run for years, right? You can hold it for a couple years if
but just not 7, according to my client, not 7 years.
So that's what I would suggest. I would suggest if you know you're going to do a new photo shoot, have fun with your full body shots, your personality shots, and keep the headshot classic.
And I'm going to challenge everybody listening to say, make that, I'm going to kind of join Christine and marry a different concept. Do your headshots, right? Have some classic pictures, but I'm going to challenge everybody who's just planning on having a classic picture, throw in some fun lifestyle photos too. Like that's what makes us approachable. Like you can be professional, but you can also have a human side. That's part of what makes it really difficult as clinicians. Talk to me a little bit about the work that you've done with other types of clinicians where it's like they feel so rigid.
Because
they're scared to show up because we're not supposed to be like, no pictures and no family. And it's not about you, it's about the patient. But how do we show the patient that we are human and not perfect and that we're warm enough to come to us because we're not robotic, cold creatures?
Well, you just said it. So if you can, first of all, smile. That is the number one thing that a lot of clinicians and physicians get wrong. They just take
Mhm.
this very serious, stoic headshot that looks like, I have all this education behind me and this is why you can trust me. Well,
Yes.
no,
It feels so heavy.
yes, it's not. It should be more like she's human. I really want to get to know her more. Just in your headshot, your smile and your eyes, those two things. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard smile with your eyes, but you can. That's something I can't describe in a podcast. I can show it visually, but you can smile with your eyes as well.
Well,
There's
like your daughter did in that headshot.
Yes. So your eyes can be super expressive and that will give you more personality. If you're afraid to show your personality in other photos, maybe just start with, I don't know, start with maybe showing yourself with a cup of coffee or something small like a prop that is part of your everyday life, but maybe it's not you twerking by the pool in Mexico, right? Like there's a
In
difference.
between. But I
Yeah.
want to go back to the beginning of what you said, because I want to lay this out for everybody because they're not processing. So everybody come back to us if we've lost you. If you are trying to show up all knowledgeable and all professional and you do not smile in your picture, you do not look approachable.
Yes.
You have to look approachable. You're scaring people away. So grab a mug or smile.
There's a little secret I teach my clients, and this one I can do on a podcast that's audio only, because wherever you're listening to this, you're either in a car or in your house cleaning, get in front of a mirror, look in your rear view mirror at a stoplight, and do a smile, like just a say cheese. Don't do that. Cheese is not the best smile. That's an awful smile, actually. It's fake. Your eyes aren't in it. But I learned this from a photographer where I did my own photo shoots here in Seattle. He's done amazing photo shoots with people like Cindy Crawford, and he's just incredible. And he taught me this, so I can't take credit. But he said, when you're smiling, have your mouth open and say really small, hey, hey, like you're getting ready to, like maybe a little flirtatious, right? So look in the mirror and go, hey, and your eyes
Oh, that's so
differently.
cute.
You'll notice when you say hey in a few different ways, like you can go, hey, or you can go, hey, or whatever you want that person looking at your photo to experience, that's how you say hey.
You know that everybody listening to this right now is saying, hey, right? And
Yeah,
looking for a mirror.
it's true.
This
It
is
works.
great.
And if you don't like your teeth, because I know a ton of women that won't smile because they don't like their teeth, they're
I didn't
very
think of that. Okay.
self-conscious. You
Mhm.
need to practice smiling with your mouth closed, like different angles. Find your good side. Use your eyes to smile. You can also open your lips just a little bit where it's not a full showing all of your pearly whites, but you can still do the hey and have a little smile. Actually, models use this all the time, but that's more of a sexy look. So it depends on
Mhm.
what industry you're in. But you have to also remember if it's your teeth that are holding you back from smiling, you have to practice smiling with a closed mouth. And that's a very beautiful smile until you get to the place where you ever want to fix your teeth or whatever, if you're not going to. Find your good side and practice. Use your eyes more than your smile if that's the case for you.
I love that you're giving tangible things that people can do right now without having to like spend money, right?
Yeah.
You're saying you don't have time or you don't like your teeth. Okay. I thought you were going to say like whiten them or go to the doctor. And you're like, no, just practice with your mouth closed.
Yeah.
I love that you're giving these practical tips. Christine, I want to wrap up this segment for now, but I am already going to ask you, will you come back and talk to us about doing social media?
Yes, I would love to.
Showing up on social media. Okay. So we're going to leave that for a different day. Thank you so much. But I want you to tell everybody, please, what is it that you specialize in and how can people find you?
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
I specialize in helping women feel confident on camera. Can you tell?
Well, oh my gosh, all this information. I can't even imagine that there's more. So much
Yes,
already.
there's so much. There's so much that I love to share because I feel like a woman who feels beautiful is powerful. When we are stepping into our power, we set better boundaries, we make better decisions, we move with clarity and purpose. I love this. It's one of my favorite things I do. I spend most of my time on Instagram, so you can find me on Instagram with my name at Christine Braneli. I also am on Facebook, TikTok, all of the things, but Instagram is where you can find me and my DMs are always open. You can reach me there.
Oh, thank you so much, Christine. So I will make sure to put that in the show notes. So you can go ahead and go to latinasempoweringLatinas.com/11 for episode 11. And I'll make sure to have all of Christine's information there and how you can work with her. And I will also tag in your Instagram account, Christine. Thank you so much. Oh my God, this was so much fun. And I learned so much. I feel like I kind of like took from you. It was so good.
Love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you, Christine. Bye. Until next time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited you tuned in. The best way to find out the second a new episode is released and receive all the valuable tools and actionable steps I share is to subscribe to the podcast, so make sure you do that. Sending you so much love until next time. Bye.